a mag. We're gonna, we hope, put out something soon from Sun Soup. This is a magazine called Outpost several years ago, more than 7 years ago. And I did an article for it called Bukowski in Frisco.
All right.
So I went to see Bukowski read, and it was a jammed house. I was staying at Lawrence at the Ferlinghetti's place. Next door, there's a buddy of his that was going to do something after the show. And so this is what this is about. Going to see Bukowski read. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the heavyweight champion of American letters, Charles Bukowski. A packed house at the San Francisco Veterans Auditorium broke into warm and spirited applause, sprinkled with hoots, yells, and whistles. Here was an event. Sponsored by City Lights, September, their first big reading since Dan Walton had read last fall. The audience mostly young, hip, a few stoned. I'm not sure what a literary audience is, but this seemed something else. Now, we had arrived on Van Ness Street about a half hour before showtime. Bright lights, limousines, hordes of the right people. Seems we had pulled up in front of the Opera House next door, where it was opening night. Oh, well. Now, we brushed by a couple of excuse-me's pardons in the cultural crush, right into a demonstration. A group of some 2,000 people were leafleting, marching in outrageous costumes, and playing out-of-tune jazzic music with signs supporting Opera Brava East-West. Quite a contrast to the well-shod stalwarts shouldering their way into the slipper of art next door. But now it's Santa Claus, believe it or not, holding hands with flaming-mouthed gypsy. They move to a hyphenated Stravinsky circusy tune. Out of sight, someone says. A flood of super bright lights on the thinly manicured lawn, and then in the high-chaired podium are a pair of impeccably clothed, unflappable mannequins, one male, one female, being interviewed live, I think, in front of a small battery of TV apparatus. Pepsi-dental opera aficionado floating unattached in a sea of King of Hearts characters. Out of sight, someone reiterates, yeah, we all wonder how it looks at home. So by now, we have gotten into the auditorium for Bukowski, but we're ready for anything. We ain't seen him read before. Many of us around us have. It's going to be too fucking much to do, he says. Have you ever seen him before? No, what's it like? Oh, fantastic. He has a refrigerator of beer beside his chair. No shit. Yeah, and he drinks the whole thing. You're shitting me. Nah, the whole fucking thing. Wait a minute. Does he read? Oh, sure. Some dynamite shit, too. But then the house lights go down and things quiet. Okay, on stride Charlie and Rock to center stage. Now, one has a violin, Rock carries his guitar right away with it. Smiley wrote and loving everything in nail. Okay, you can't believe these guys. Neon and nylons. Okay, so this is too perfect, the next guy to me says. When the duo finish, the crowd cheers roundly. Smiley responds, thank you, Fantasy Cowboys. Now the Highlands, sung by the guru himself, Hank Williams. You a cheating heart, a decent version. Changing lines, sleep won't come the whole night through to sleep won't come the way I do. It follows some audience. They do a few more with the same combination of irreverence and rough-edge musicology that set the setting for food. Okay, now it's start time, and excitement crackles as the footlights glow. For a moment or two, nothing at all happens. Then, from behind the screen, like Wizard of Oz, or a disembodied voice starts to rise. Hunkered over gingham tablecloth is the legendary Bukowski. To his right is a small stool supporting a large pot which holds a phallic-shaped cactus. To his left, subbing for the fridge, a galvanized tub full of ice and Heineken beer. Now the performance starts in confused fashion. Bukowski hasn't said his opening or decides to invite the audience into it. There are several exchanges between poet and individuals in the hall. Yells of, "We want Crazy Jack!" Now somehow a poem creeps in after lifting the beer bottle a few times. Doesn't seem like there are many to me, he comments when the beer's gone. The reading's over. Wait a minute. That's what he says. When the beer's gone, the reading's over. And he means it too, the guy behind me says. Too much I hear in front. He clears his throat, ready to begin, then reaches for another Heineken very slowly, almost ceremoniously. A long vertical guzzle, half sneer back at audience. Back to size, he says, and they all cheer. Out of sight, remarks someone to my left. I strain to see the outsider. All you need to be a poet is a green bottle. Applause, more. You paid money to come in here and see me drink or smoke, but you can't do either. Applause again, except for a couple of, oh yeah, enthused jumping off to show up wine bottles and one Jack Daniels. Wow. But Bukowski's reading now, and in an ironic but lacerating monotone, he's giving us some of his shots. Again and again, the long pause. The head tilts back like a poster advertising the reading. Adam's apple bobbing, a relaxed sigh of contentment, another green bottle popping open. Buffo Bukowski, crazy satanic angel, tightrope walker over the great abyss, spurning safety and tradition. He fascinates his audience as one who would tantalize the fates, defy the gods, shove it all, and let's get fucked any way you want to do it, out of sight. And it's the audience who is him, pulling the howdy-doody strings. Cat, pop, guzzle, burp, and a few raunchy words. Wow, just there on stage. Veterans Auditorium, San Francisco, USA. Hey, poetry's come a long way. But Bukowski's not all clown there. Some beautiful, powerful, sensitive moments happen. They seem lost in the front hall, guzzling atmosphere. A poem starts off almost comically with an exchange between a man and woman over a pair of panties found in a closet. Who are these? I thought they were yours. No, they belong to some dog as she leaves. Not for a while, but for good. But he misses her, and he pains for her. And he ends up with the last line, the soft old man driving around in the lonely rain. But broken immediately by another voice from the outside. Hey, what do you think of Patti Smith? Pause. Chug a Heineken. Patti Smith belongs in a better world. I don't like her. Cheers. The superficial score is very good. What about Hank Williams? Hank Williams was a very good boy. A pretty good boy. I was listening to him before you masturbated. Ha ha ha. Laughter, applause. Poetry again. Two guys at the track, back and forth. And important things happen with these guys, but out of sync, and one guy keeps talking about her, and no one's hearing. I think it's the 6, no, it's the 8, and when the race is over, we tore up our tickets at the 8, but guess what? Stared at the lake in the center of the track. It was going to be a long afternoon for both of us. Another piece about a poet who is engaged in a reading where he gets so wasted he regurgitates into the grand piano, right into the strings. To his surprise, following this folly, he gets a load of offers for more such readings. He takes them. And Bukowski says, I know this poet. He's just like the rest of us. He'll vomit anywhere for money. The import of this thought seems lost on the audience. A persistent yell for an explanation from the middle of the hall. What is the cactus for? Bukowski puts off an answer, mumbles an innuendo or two about what it might be put to use, then nodding at the spiny plant says, that's Jesus there. He'll stick you every time. The scene, an auditorium filled with 1,200 people. On the stage, a weathered man, racked but not wrecked, slicing off chunks of his flesh with a pack of yelping dogs who own him because they paid $3 to get a performance out of him. What shall he give and how, and who the fuck out there would understand anyway? So give him what they left, that great green guzzle. And so when the beer's gone, the reading's over. He means it, no shit from the back of the hall. Hey, Bukowski, why don't you blow your lunch like a mosaic? No rejoinder from the stage. The beer is taking effect. A lot of slurs now, missed pronunciations. He's going over slowly. I wonder if he's gonna get out of it. What the fuck do these people want? But Bukowski's reading again about people whose greatest victory is getting a cheap can of tuna at the supermarket. And that the great wrong is that people are not just good enough to each other. Repeated, people are not just good enough to each other. And what the world needs, more green-eyed whores who won't eat your heart up like a vitamin pill. A woman stands up in the audience and says, I think most of the assholes in this audience read Bukowski the way they read pornography. I guess I say amen. But there's scattered applause. Bukowski goes on. The ocean goes in and out and under the direction of a senseless moon, and people are not just good enough to each other. He gulps down the last of a green bottle. His head lurches toward the galvanized tub, but it is empty. As he promised, the reading is over. We swarm outside into the cool San Francisco night. The opera next door is only the second act. Bukowski didn't read very long. One of the guys selling t-shirts is making his last few. We hear about a party up at North Beach. Bukowski will be there. Out of sight. We won't. Thank you.